Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Happy Wednesday to all. So I am sorry again guys for the broken promises. Okay, I am going to upload on a regular basis, but to tell you the truth, it has been challenging. It has been challenging because if you guys have been following me for a minute, you do know that I work on a daily basis, and there is a thing where now we have people in the office, and those little times where I was able to record, it's a little risque of doing it right now because you have people that are watching when they're not supposed to be watching you, and they're pissing you off like they actually had pissed me off today. But I'm not trying to bring that energy into this reading because today we're going to be doing a check-in, like a quick energy pull on the members of One Direction, which is Zayn Malik, Louistomlinson, Niall Horan, and harrystyles. Now, the reason that I wanted to do this poll, and this actually came into my mind because I know I promised you guys a video pertaining to One Direction and Simon Cowell. That will be coming up. Again, it's a little bit of this and that because I'm trying to do this and do that, and on top of taking care of my work duties and blah blah blah. That stuff does not matter. That's not what you want to hear about. But that video will be coming out. But this came in my mind one day when I was looking at TikTok, looking at some old videos of One Direction, old and current. And I was curious about like what's currently going on with them, like how are they feeling, how are they doing since we had lost Liam. So Liam's passing, it's been about almost like 5 months since the passing of Liam. And I was curious about how the rest of the members were feeling. Now, we had seen some things that what's been going on with Zayn Malik. Of course, he was at the time touring when the passing of Liam occurred, and he took a break and he went back to continue his tour. One of the places was when he was actually in DC at the Anthem, and I wish I knew sooner, but unfortunately I couldn't go because that was when I was sick. I was really sick. I couldn't go to a concert if I tried. After he left DC, I believe his next show was in LA, and nobody, like out of the blue, Louis was in the audience. And when I saw that, my heart fluttered. I'm like, that is so sweet. I'm like, oh my God, Louis was in the audience, cheering him on. And, Zayn was saying like, I know a friend of mine is here. He's actually here. And it was just such a heartwarming moment. And I'm like, oh my God, it's a start. And I feel like that when people had saw that, immediately they were thinking of, could they be like in a reunion? Since it is said that Louis and Zayn had a falling out, and I'm not going to go into detail with it because, I have been doing videos on them. If you guys want to hear my opinions, you can just go to my One Direction playlist. But people was really egging on for a reunion. Now, this is another thing that kind of jaunted me on doing this video. So, the Brit Awards. The Brit Awards it was a couple weeks ago since the Brit Awards aired. And you had fans of One Direction. They were really looking forward. And I'm not gonna lie, myself too, I know it doesn't make any sense. It's like part of me is like, it don't really make any sense, but I was looking forward to like hopefully see Zayn, Louis, Niall, and Harry together on stage, just doing a tribute to Liam. I guess I don't know who came up with the narrative, but it was unfortunate that they were not at the Brit Awards, and there was not a moment where, you know, we had all four on stage, you know, singing their hearts out to their late member. And with that being said, that's understandable, because I cannot even imagine, like, you lost someone who's closest to you. And I mean, like, really, and I have to slap myself in the head by thinking this, like, really, do you really think they're going to perform knowing that they had such a close connection to Liam? And it's not that easy. Like, losing a friend, losing someone closest to you is not easy at all. But I see that at least with Louis and Zayn, they are making amends. I don't see any cases where Niall is talking to Louis, or mainly Louis and Harry are not talking. On Harry's part, I see a little bit of him, and I'm getting the feeling like he's a little distant towards the other three members. So that is what prompted me that I really want to do this reading on. I wanted to pull on each member and to get a feel of how one feels about the other, and also how do they feel as a foursome. It wouldn't be surprising to me if something came out and said that, you know, that, let's say if the funeral card were to come out, it says that, you know, once, you know, it's done. We're not going to do no tribute. We're not going to do anything like that, because it's very understandable when you are in, you know, this group, let's say full of 5 people, like you had them 5 and then you had lost one. It's not the same. It's like the group died when when Liam had died. So that right there is understandable. Not saying that that's what it's going to be, but that's why I want to do an energy check-in, like an energy pull on the other 4. I'm not trying to bring like no animosity or anything like that, saying this one like the other, and I do not want any of that shit to come up on this video. You will be blocked and hidden from my channel, okay? I know I've been gone for not that long, but I'm not going to tolerate it. These are my opinions and my opinions alone, and I can't control what the cards say, okay? It is what it is on my end. But yeah, that's why I wanted to speak out on. So of course, as always, before I get started, a disclaimer. Please keep in mind that everything that is mentioned in this video involving One Direction, involving Zayn Malik, Louistomlinson, Niall Horan, and Harry Styles is declared 100% alleged, unless it's confirmed by Zayn, Louis, Niall, and Harry themselves, okay? Do not take it personal, all right? Do not take it personal. I also want to declare as well that I know that I'm pulling on all the other 4 members of One Direction. I understand Liam is spirit, so I'm not really looking forward for him to come in, but if I get a hunch, then it's what may. I mean, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it either way. I really do feel in the back of my mind, I feel like that they should come together at least to give peace to Liam on his side. I do agree with that, but like I said, it's whatever that they want to do. But yeah, but everything is 100% alleged. I've been talking for almost 10 minutes, and yes, we're going to get started. All right, guys, so the first member we're going to be pulling on, we're going to be doing a quick pull first on Zayn Malik. And below you see some cards, not too many because I'm not trying to pull that much out, but as I was pulling, I do see a little things as to what is the current energy that is surrounding Zayn regarding the group One Direction, as well as his other members. Other members, how he feels about the other members. And by members, I have, if you guys see the little sticky notes here, these cards pertain to Louis here, these cards pertain to Niall, and these, of course, pertain to Harry. Yeah, we're just gonna leave it at that for now. I might do a separate video if you guys want me to pull, but that takes another, because, you know, of the whole situation here. So don't want to go about it, but okay, so let's get started. So I am just going to pull cards at random, and we're going to start with how Zayn is currently feeling about One Direction as a group, meaning him and the other three members. This also could include like with Liam as well, even though Liam is in spirit, but it's just overall about his feelings now pertaining to the group. So the first card I'm going to pull out, we have addiction, drugs, alcohol, obsession, toxic attachment. So it's a little funny about how this card came about. I wouldn't say, of course, I can't say it now because he also has a coping card. So you have addiction and we have coping. And by these two, I do not mean that Zayn he's definitely not at the stage where he's drinking a lot with grief and becoming an alcoholic, association with drugs. I'm not saying that at all about him. I feel like that during this time, especially with the passing of his bandmate, and if there's anything else that could be going on with his life, I understand that he is a father. It could be, you know, like daddy issues. It could be work issues. We're human. We go through things in life, and, you know, he's nothing new to it. He's human. I do feel like that at times he could be stressed out where he drinks. Not saying again that he's drinking, becoming an alcoholic. I'm not getting that from him at all. But I do felt like that he was drinking in this situation. Not a lot. Like I said, when he's drunk and, you know, passed over and things like that. But we do have coping. And now with the addiction card, I feel that, again, this has nothing to do with like a person being addicted to drugs and alcohol. I'm not saying that. I'm sorry I have to keep repeating myself, but this goes to those hardcore One Direction fans, especially those that think that I was blasting Zayn. I'm not saying he's a drug addict. I'm not saying he's an alcoholic, okay? This is coming out of my own mouth. But I feel that the reason the addiction card came about was because I basically was asking Spirit, like asking my cards, how does Zayn feel about the group One Direction? I'm looking at this word again of toxic attachments. So that's telling me that this is what Zayn was feeling, that it was a toxic environment for him. And I do feel also that the idea of him, let's just say merging as a group, let's say for example they were to merge together as their foursome, or they were to do this little reunion, that brings back flashbacks of that toxicity. And I feel like that he doesn't want to be around it. He doesn't want to be around it. The next card that we have boundaries. So you see how this man is, you know, he's at a distance. Like he doesn't want to come in, but he's distant. He's putting a certain boundary up. So I do see, and as you guys will see as I go through the cards, that there is a part of Zayn that, you know, he wants to reconcile, that he feels apologetic on some certain things with certain members, but however, he's still keeping that boundary up. That's the vibe that I'm getting. He also feels like allegedly is two-faced. So there could be like, it's someone within the circle that he feels like is two-faced, that the kind, you know, like smiles in your face, but behind you will be about the BS. I can't declare on what member, okay? Y'all be the judge of that. I'm not even gonna go into detail with it, but that is allegedly what he is feeling. We also have why. So when this card came out, I was thinking that this could be a whole lot of possibilities as to running through Zayn's mind. Like, this could be associated with Liam. Like, why did this had to happen to him? Why, you know, were we brought together during this tragedy? You know, why so-and-so? He could be like questioning like certain things, what had happened, like why did this had to happen? You know, why am I? He could be questioning the whole thing with Louis, like why am I talking to someone that I haven't talked to in years, and it took for this to happen, and then, you know, here he is, and it's taking me back to that alleged toxicity and whatnot. So that, if I'm making sense, you guys, you understand what I'm saying, okay? The next card that we have uninvited guests, which is surprise, accident, big change, moment of decision. This could be either that Zayn was approached by an uninvited guest. This could pertain to that Louis had popped up unexpectedly and could have surprised him. That's what the cards could reflect on. Or he could have been approached secretly by another member that he did not expect to see. The only thing that I know that who he was closest to and who we saw was Louis. But when it comes down to Niall and Harry, I'm not sure. That could have happened like behind the scenes, I'm supposed. The next card that we have photograph, photo, memory, souvenir card. So I know, like with Zayn, as well as the rest of the members, I cannot talk for some reason, that they have photos, they have mementos, they have memories of, you know, how it was when they were in the group. Zayn from time to time, or he could have done this, or he'll do this from time to time, that he'll look at certain photos and certain moments that were precious to them. And when I say by them, not talking about how, you know, they shown us as the fans, but something that is within their circle that was like secretive between them, that was only for them, the 5 members, within one group. So he could be from time to time looking at certain photographs. The next card that we have Street, Circulation Sports Exhibit. So I'm not really sure about why this card had came out. This could be either like Zayn, maybe, you know, he will be shopping, or he may be currently shopping at this time for someone. He could be shopping, you know, like for himself, or for his daughter, for his love interest. I'm not sure if he's single or anything like that. That's for a future video. Not going into detail with it. But yeah, we have Street. This card also came out as well, and I didn't ask for it to come out, but we have Sex Addiction. Now this card came out twice. This card came out twice along with the funeral card. So these two cards came out twice. Now with the sex addiction, this could resonate another thing with the addiction, allegedly. And keep in mind, guys, this is allegedly. Again, I'm not sure if Zayn is currently dating, or he's like dating around, but keep in mind, everything is alleged. And back to the funeral card. Now, the funeral card came out twice, and I feel like with the funeral card is telling me that with Zayn, it's sounding like to me that back to this boundaries card. Let's go back to this boundaries card. Back to this boundaries card. He's not interested. Allegedly, he's not interested into doing a reunion. Like if it was ever approached to him, this is the current energy now that he's not interested of doing a reunion, like a One Direction reunion. If they were to pay him money, he's not interested with it, because allegedly he sees it as a toxic environment. These cards right here also symbolizes with them as well, pertaining to the group. We have anger management. Now, I did a reading on Zayn a couple months ago with Harry. I don't remember. Something's telling me that an anger management card did came out, or a card that indicated like a form of aggression. So there could be times where Zayn could be mad and could be fired up and be upset. Again, he falls under the sign of Capricorn, so that is a Capricorn tendency that they'll get mad, they'll get fired up, they'll be red like the Red Hawk. But I'm not going to be exaggerating, but you guys understand what I'm saying. So there could be times where he feels like he needs anger management, or this could stem from when he was in a group, how it was such a toxic environment that it made his anger go up and rise up. And he's like, I got to get out of here. I'm getting so mad. I feel like I need anger management. Okay. The next cards that we have actually the next two cards. We have longing and we have awakening. Now, with the awakening card, this could stem from, allegedly, this could stem from Zayn, about how he's currently feeling right now. That everything that had happened, there is a sense of an awakening, either something for him to make amends with the other members. And there's also a sense of longing to talk to someone, longing to talk to the other members and make amends. I'm getting a feeling like a part of him wanted to talk to, I'm getting a sense of when he left the group and there was a falling out. There have been many years that Zayn wanted to talk to the other members. He wanted to bury the hatchet with everything that he had done. Like, it was like he did not want to leave the group like as he did, but for his own sanity. So I feel like that's what the longing card is representing for. Like, he wanted to talk to them, and he actually wanted to talk to all of them, including Liam. But he didn't know how to go about it. He didn't know how they were going to react until it took the passing of Liam to happen for him to do this. Sorry, I'm just laying on the camera. So sorry about that. It took the passing of Liam for this to come about. And speaking of that, I'm going to put these over to the side. Now we're going to look at these three cards here, these three section of cards here. So let's see. So we're going to go to, hold up. All right, so let's start with Louis. This is how he feels about Louis. So with Louis's cards, the first one we have trash, waste, worthless, mouse. So don't you guys start no shit, okay? Okay, do not start nothing. When this card came out, I feel like that was before. Because remember what I said, and you guys noticed that Zayn and Louis had a falling out. Some words could have been left unsaid. Some words could have been talked about that we don't know. Okay, this word could have came out, but this is representing like how it was before. it was. But following that card, we have the Reconcile card. Repair, cure, understanding, concession. So the Reconcile card indicates that Zayn wants to reconcile with Harry, and as you know, we already see it, that, you know, it looks as though they buried the hatchet. We're not with them, you know, they ain't obligated to show the camera, like, you know, let's say Zayn say, okay, I'm with my friend Louis and we have reconciled, and, you know, that's something that happens behind the scenes between the two, but it does show that he is very interested into reconciling with Louis, which that is in the now. The next card that we have massive regrets. So a part of him pertaining to the situation, he could have felt like massive regretful of how everything came about. And we have like the feelings card, like your heart, your flowers on your heart. So that's a sense of like growth, repair. That goes back to the awakening card. See, the awakening, ready to grow, ready to prepare, ready to mend that part of your heart, that part of his heart, part of his heart that was dealing with the hurt regarding certain things. And this is again pertaining to him and Louis. Okay, the next section we have Niall section. So how does Zayn feel about Niall? Okay, so the first card that we have for Zayn pertaining to Niall, we have Miss You, Miss Eager Wait. So this shows that Zayn, now I don't know how Zayn and Niall's friendship was. To me, it's like Niall was closest to Liam, but I never paid attention to Zayn and Niall together. It's always been Louis and Harry. I'm not even gonna go, y'all. I'm sorry. So, but it appears that he misses him. He missed talking to him. If it looks like one of those cases that if Niall had reached out and communicated with him, again, that's something we don't know. That he is definitely looking for the opportunity. The next card here we have, see, look for, investigation, explore, search. So when this card came out to me, I feel like that over the years, Zayn could have been following Niall. Now, I don't know if they follow each other on social media. Again, that is what you guys have to let me know in the comments. Did Zayn follow Niall? Did Niall follow Zayn? That could not be the case, but however, he has been keeping tabs up on him about, you know, how his success went about. I really don't think there was no animosity between Niall and between Zayn. Or Zayn and Niall. The next card that we have for Zayn, and now we have rest, pause, journey, new beginning. So I'm looking at the word new beginning. So this is a new beginning where, again, Zayn definitely wants to reach out with Niall, or he wants Niall to reach out to him, or if it has not happened already, that they want to talk, they want to catch up. And then the last card we have mirroring. So with the mirroring card, I also always said that when it comes out with a person and pertain to another person, it's like they're mirroring, they're reflecting one another. So this is telling me that Zayn is feeling like this, but also with Niall, he's feeling that way too, that he wants, you know, him and Zayn to, you know, the chit chat and be like old times. If they're not talking already, of course, we don't know. I haven't been following up with them like that. That's only for you guys, your hardcore, you know, One Direction fans. If you guys have nothing to do but keeping tabs on them, that's for y'all to answer that in the comments. All right, so that's now. And the last, what we have, let's see, we have with Harry. So these are the cards pertaining to Harry in this order. So The first card that we have sorry. I am sorry. The unspoken apology, eternal regret. So we have sorry. He's sorry. The next card we have message, communication records, call records, instant messaging. So this could either stem from either that Zayn allegedly had reached out to Harry to try to hash out the differences, because again, you guys remember that they were illegally recording Liam's funeral from a distance, and I did not see not one picture of Zayn and Harry, although it could have happened inside the church where they were all at. Or either he wants Harry to reach out to him, because again, he has that boundary up. He doesn't know how the other members will act. Like, he's willing to talk to the other members, but he don't know how they're going to retaliate on their end. So this could either be a message saying that if him or Harry haven't talked, then this can be a message, okay, to you, Harry, that reach out to him, talk with him. He wants to talk to you, okay? He wants you to shoot him a message, talk to your big bro, okay? And then the last card we have wish. So wish resonates with the massive regret card, with Louis wishing that, you know, what happened between them didn't happen, but also with Harry, that the falling out that they have. And that's what allegedly what I pulled on, the falling out that they have. Like, he wished that that did not happen, that a whole different outcome could have came about it. All right, you guys. So those are the cards for Zayn. Again, it's like he wants to come forward with the other members. He wants to come forward with the other members, but it depends on the other members themselves, or if there's some engagement that's going on with them. We already know with Louis, but I'm not sure with Niall or with Harry. Okay, so those are all his cards. Now, what I want to do is I want to use my new card deck, and they are the yes, no, maybe. So I want to get a good feel. Sorry guys, that's my air freshener. I want to get a good feel just to make absolutely sure. Will Zayn decide to do a reunion concert or reunion albums? You know, a girl can dream, can I? So I just want to make sure, just to get that confirmed. Let's bring the camera looks looser, because at a distance. All right, so let's ask Spirit this one question. And again, this is the current energy. Spirit pertaining to Zayn Malik. Is he interested into reuniting One Direction again, even for a little bit? Is he interested in reuniting, or is he interested? Let me rephrase this. Is Zayn Malik interested in doing a reunion with One Direction? Spirit. Okay. I'm looking at the one card on the side, and we have maybe, but probably not. So it's a little iffy. But I really feel like that there's no going back with it. Okay? Alright, you guys. So that's that quick reading on Zayn Malik. And we are going to proceed with the next member. Hold tight. Alright guys, we are back. So now we have Niall Horan on the screen, and of course I took some cards out, and I see a little bit of some things, but I'm going to break it down to you right now. So let's start on the left that you guys can see. Okay, so the first card that came out, we have heartbreak. So normally this card would come out if I were to, if I was doing a relationship pull on now, but this has nothing to do with a relationship. Between this card, and I also want to show you guys this one as well, we have losing sleep. We have losing sleep, worrying or worried, replaying events, thinking about you. So these two cards, what I feel resonates with the tragic passing of Liam, that it shows that now at times that he's still heartbroken, he's still coping with this loss of losing his bandmate. This goes back to actually a picture that I remember when all of this was going on, that, when Liam's death was fresh in the media. Some fans, like there were some 1D fans that came across him and asked him for a photo, which I feel that it's not a good time. It's not a good time. But I'm not going to be the judge. It just depends on the person. But he looks like he didn't mind taking a photo with them. And you can see the hurt in his eyes. Like, I saw that picture and I saw that video. It was actually a video of a picture of him being upset, and my heart couldn't take it. I just can't take anyone that you can actually see the sadness in their eyes. So it's completely understandable why he's feeling like this, or he at times could be feeling like this. So he is still in that healing phase pertaining to that. Now that's one thing. The next thing that we got legal matters, divorce, property, criminal property, child support, traffic tickets. So this card is rather odd as to why this card came out. Allegedly, there could have been some legal issues going on pertaining to the group itself, pertaining to now when he was in the group. It could be the people that were working behind the scenes. From what my understanding is, I do remember when I did the reading on Harry and Zayn, that's a legal card did come out. So due to the fact that now it's showing it as well, it just, to me, say it's allegedly that it could have been like some legal matters that pertain to him within the group. Maybe it was not something that was promised to him, and it didn't turn out the way that he wanted. But either way, it just shows there's some legal matters, and that could be like one of the reasons why. Let me show you guys this next card here. We have a defense mechanism. A defense mechanism card. So defense is like, it's the same thing with boundaries, like being aware that you're not trying to, let no one step over your boundaries. But if you decide to go forward, then you're going to go in with a shield. So he's another member like Louis, that he feels like that if he were to do it, let's say whatever, he's gonna be in a defense mode. So there's a lot of boundaries I notice that's going on, like the word boundaries, the word defense, protecting themselves, one another. Let's see what else I can show you on this side here. The next response we have authentic vibes. Authentic vibes. It says you found someone who resonates with your authentic vibe, meaning that it's someone like within the group that that matches with him, like certain things about him. It's like it's a certain group member that he's closest to. From what my understanding, depending on what I see between the cards here, let me just take a quick look, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, so it looks as though between these two cards here pertaining to now, I really don't feel that this pertains to the other three members. This is not pertaining to Zayn, Harry, or Louis. This is pertaining to what I feel. This is coming off of like him and Liam's energy, how they get along there. I do see some pictures where they get along like the most, like now and Liam. I swear, I keep saying like Liam is seriously, he was like the backbone. He was like the center of the whole group. So he was like that peacemaker. But I do recall and I do remember and know that Niall and Liam had that tight, that really tight knit, very like healthy relationship. They seem like they did it's very easy for them to be buddy and they get along really well, similarly to how you see this man and woman surfing, how they're getting along and how they love to surf and love to do other things. That's what I feel like this is what this card resonates with him. The next card that we have for now, we have unspoken tensions. Unspoken tensions. Tensions lurk beneath the surface. So guys, it shows that it's a little bit of, it appears it's a little bit of like allegedly tension within between now and the other group members. That there is certain things that were left unspoken in this situation. And we also have, see guys, that goes back to the shield. Look, trust in progress. Trust the progress, the relationship. Don't rush for answers. So again, this is nothing to do like relationship wise. Again, this is something to do with trusting, trying to build up one's trust. You see, because he has that shield where he's trying to be caution in order to build that trust, to have that trust in progress. The next three cards that we have daydream. We have daydream. So it appears that now is one of those people that loves to daydream. So we have daydream coming off on his end. We also have freedom. So with this freedom card, it's giving me a feeling like what I feel, and I'll get my yes or no cards in a minute to see. But this is telling me that now prefers just being, like to himself, doing his own thing, his own career. He enjoys the freedom of, he doesn't have to hold back certain things about him. Like you're able to do more, I feel like, being solo or as a solo artist than versus with you being in a group. It's like it's a lot of you gotta be a certain way, you gotta act a certain way. You can't figure out like who is you, who made you, what kind of person you are, what kind of person you want to be. So you step out of that and then you grow to learn yourself more and know that you can do other things. And with that freedom, you're able to go whatever, do whatever, be whoever that you want to be. And now is in that moment and during this time where he's happy with that. And the next card that we have quiet contentment. Simple companionship brings you peace and satisfaction. So that's just all what he wants. He just wants peace. He wants quietness. He wants to, have like like a peaceful, you know, peaceful friendship, partnership, and leave it at that. And the last card, you guys, now, this card came out twice. I'm just going to leave it there. This card came out twice, and I didn't ask for these cards. And you know, I told you, y'all, that certain cards will tend to come out. They'll come out, and you don't ask them to come out. Oh boy, I had to pause to sneeze. But, however, this card came out twice. So, from the looks of it, Niall is in a relationship at this time, and I don't know if this is a prediction. I don't know, or this could be like one of those cases where, like I said, I'm not doing a love reading or anything like that, but it looks as though that there either could be either a pregnancy or like a pregnancy scare that's going to happen to Niall. Because you see, we have fake news. See, someone could say like it's a pregnancy, but it's fake news. Or someone was saying to me, like, okay, Niall is expecting his first child, and it turns out allegedly it may be fake news. So that card came out. I don't know why. Just be on the lookout for that for y'all fans. So the next cards we are going to analyze, and let me put you in the center because I'm telling you, you move them over just a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to look at the feelings to see how Niall feels about his other members. So we're going to start with Zayn. So let me get all these together. I'm just going to take them like this and put them in this order. Okay, that's much better. All right. Okay, so these are the cards that came out for Niall pertaining to Zayn. So the first card that we have independent, free, lead, initiative. So this is saying to me that Niall looks like Zayn as a independent person. He could look up to him because you see lead, so he could look up to him as a leader. Because I'm not sure who is the oldest. I feel like Zayn is the oldest. I'm not sure if they're born like the same year. I believe, yeah, there is, because it's Louis first, of course, and then we have Niall, Zayn, and Liam. They're born within the same year, and then Harry was born in 94. Zayn was born in the month of January. Now falls under the sign of Virgo, and which declares Zayn is older by a few months. So this to me shows that Niall does look at Zayn, or allegedly Niall looks at Zayn as him being like a leader, a big brother, someone who is independent. This could be another thing also that this goes back to, due to the fact that Zayn left the group. This could have gave like Niall the motivation to say like, hey, once the band runs its course, once the group ran its course, then I'm able to go out and I'm able to boost my solo career and grow as an artist as well. And you see, fast forward, that he's very successful in his own way, and either going to great lengths like being a judge and commenting on other future artists and being that mentor. There's also a mentor part too, that at times Zayn could have been a mentor to Niall, and telling him, they could have conversations regarding that. So it's little things like that I feel like that this is why this card came out. The next card that we have look for investigation, explore, search. So this is a card that came out earlier for Zayn. I'm not sure if this came out for... I literally just did it. Yes. I'm going to say yeah. I'm going to say yeah. So vice versa what I said earlier pertaining to Zayn, or how I'm going to do these videos, is that Niall checks up on Zayn every now and then. Again, it could be like following him on social media, you know, see what's going on with him. Again, I don't know if they follow each other via social media. I'm just going to leave that up to you guys to let me know that. But it appears that there was like some checking in over the years to see how one was doing and vice versa. The next card we have ascending, level up, promotion, progress. So now it looks like Zayn now as he's leveling up to being like a better artist. He had progressed in some certain amount of years that now notice with Zayn that he has progressed through his life very successfully. A part of him could be happy. I feel like that he's happy, and he condemns his former bandmate of his success. The next card that we have photograph, photo, memory, souvenir card. So with this situation pertaining to Niall and Zayn, Niall is another one that, you know, likes to go back down memory lane, likes to look at photos and, you know, like have souvenirs, things that would take him back during the days of the group. And also how, you know, how the friendship between him and Zayn was. The next card we have roll the dice, take a chance, take a risk, leap of faith. So this shows that Niall is another member that would not mind like taking a chance to try to talk to Zayn. Zayn had this back to back, so vice versa. He wants to talk to you. If you guys ain't talk, he wants to talk to you. So, it feels like he's going to take that chance to say like, okay, I'm going to take this chance on contacting you, talking to you. We're going to talk one-on-one privately. Again, they don't have to do this shit in public. This is between all of them, you know. They want to be public. Let them decide that, but we don't got to say in it. So he's going to take the dice, roll the dice regarding that. The next card that we have sorry. I am sorry. The unspoken apology, eternal regret. So it appears that something happened between him and Zayn that he feels apologetic for. It could have been like some choice of words, other things like that happen behind the scenes, but what's going on, or if you guys know, or if you don't, just be quiet. Now is he's very sorry for it, allegedly. The next card that we have rest, pause, a journey, new beginning. So it shows that this big step on, you know, trying to make amends with Zayn, it reflects to like it's a new beginning. The next card that we have friends. So that confirms it, you guys, that now wants to if they're not talking right now like secretly, or if they're not following each other on social media, whatever the case may be, it just shows that they had made amends, or now wants to make amends with Zayn. And we have the last card, you guys. We have Queen Bee, secure, confident, boss bitch, career focus. So this resonates back to the independent card. And don't mind the Queen Bee. I like to call the King Bee when it reflects to like a male or a male talking about another male. But this is how allegedly Niall looks at Zayn. He looks at Zayn as a confident person. Goes back to the independent card, the confident, career focus, secure. So he really does look up to he looks up to Zayn. Like, Zayn is one of those members that he definitely looks up to, allegedly. All right, guys, so those are the cards pertaining to Zayn. Now let's go over pertaining to Louis. I'm gonna get them all together. All right, so we have Louis cards. So the first card that we have Forgotten Person, Core, Past, Old Friend. Okay, so as you notice, it shifted a little bit. So we have Forgotten Person pertaining to Louis. The next card that we have an Intuition, Sixth Sense, Intuition, Subconscious. So in this situation, the reason why what I feel the Intuition card came out, it's because, like I was telling you guys, we all have like an intuition, an intuitive, like we may like feel things if something is wrong. Again, now falls under the sign of Virgo, so Virgos are very intuitive. It's almost like we can feel things. Like if we feel like somebody is full of, you know what, we could pick up on that. So I feel like with this Intuition card, there could have been something that was going on behind the scenes that either now had a sense of what Louis was doing, allegedly, or this could have been told with him, you know, in the subconscious mind. Like something didn't quite feel right, because you see we have a Forgotten Person. Like, it's like he wants to leave Louis in the past, allegedly. Like, he just doesn't want to be bothered with it. And this next card says it all. We have breakup, walk away, separation, end. So this shows that, you know, once there's a breakup, there's a breakup. It could be an issue where, and like I said, I don't know them. I don't follow them like that. I don't know, but it appears to me that it could have been like some animosity between Louis and Niall. And I'm surprised that these cards came out. I'm very, very surprised. And it also shows that, you know, once a person breaks up, a separation, you tear a photo together, you can't mend it back. So it shows that when it comes down to Louis, it just feels like he allegedly doesn't want to be associated with him. The next card we have My Way, selfish, stubborn, arrogant, pride, and ego. So these could be like similarly on how Niall felt about Louis overall. See, selfish, stubborn, arrogant, pride, and ego. Now this card tends to come out for Capricorns, so it doesn't take a rocket scientist, you know, to figure out that this is definitely what you know, that Capricornic energy coming from. But yeah, we have that. On the next card we have running. So there could be moments where Niall could be like irritated maybe with Louis to the point that he felt like he wanted to run away. Like he's like, I'm so done with it, I just want to run away. And that's a Virgo technique. It's like we get pissed off. We just want to go away, be in our own space, be that hermit, leave you alone for a couple of days, and then we try back again. That's what he felt like. And I understand that there was like a lot of that, like being mad with one another. And imagine being like that touring, and then you don't have no choice but to be on stage, and you gotta suck it up, like really suck it up. And I know that killed now. or any other member, but I know mainly it killed him because it fall in that Virgo sign. Hell, even Liam, if Liam was mad at somebody, like, that eats up a Virgo a lot because he was a Virgo too. So, oh God, it was I couldn't even imagine. See, we have the rejected card. See, rejected. We have next card. We have block, spam, call, text. So there could have been a moment where Louis, he either blocked Louis or Louis had blocked him, allegedly. See, blocked. And then we have firm. The last one we have firm. We have wide awake, clean, decisive. So the firm card could pertain to now, and that could be like him saying like, okay, nobody's not going to ask me to get involved with Louis allegedly. I'm firm. I made my decision about it. I'm not trying to deal with it anymore. So, yeah. All right, y'all. So we have that. Oh, wow. You see, it's just so, okay. All right. So there's that. Alright guys, so now these are the cards pertaining to Niall and Harry. So let's go over them real quick. Alright, so the first card that we have a divine masculine energy. Divine masculine could refer to like a male. This could be one of those situations where there could be a male that's closest to Niall that told him, to try to make amends when it came down to Harry, or this divine masculine could identify Harry, which I feel like this is what this card resonating for, that it identifies Harry. The next card that we have memories. So it goes back to the memories card, you guys. So Niall does have memories, of course, pertaining to him and Harry, and allegedly from time to time he could be thinking about those moments. The next card that we have home. We have home, refuge, belong, haven. So this is definitely like a Virgo trait because all we think about is, just being home or being a homebody. This could symbolize us to how Niall feels like from time to time just being at home, and he's at home and he's having these memories. The next card that we have, you guys, we have message, communication records, call records, instant messaging. So this is a card that goes all the way back to the beginning, that this is a message saying that, that they haven't talked to one another, that Niall is open to have a conversation to talk to Harry. Again, I don't know if this had happened behind the scenes, but we have messages, communication records, call records, instant messaging, or they could be messaging right now. I should have said okay, they could have been messaging right now. Because there's unfinished business. The unfinished business is not over back and forth baggage. So here is another unfinished business, like how it was with Louis, pertaining to, I feel like it was Zayn, that there's some unfinished business that need to be done. Next card we have crown, owner, master, top level. So this is another one feeling that now feels like Harry is king. No, not really. I'm not going to over exaggerate it. No, he does not feel like Harry is king, but he's proud. I feel like that this card came out because he's proud of Harry's success. He's another one of his support systems. He sees Harry as, like a top level pertaining to his career. And the last card we have happiness. So this could reflect to, again, going back, guys, to the crown card again, that now feels very happy, again, regarding Harry's success. Alrighty, guys, so those are those cards. So now what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to grab my yes or no cards, and we're going to see allegedly if now is up to a One Direction reunion. Spirit pertaining to Niall Horan does now want to do a One Direction reunion. How is now willing to do a One Direction reunion? Okay, so I'm going to see real quick. Spirit is now open to. Okay. Spirit pertaining to now. It's now open to a One Direction reunion. Alright, you guys, you see we have a response. So it says, ask again later. Okay, ask again later. So we're going to keep that question a back burner pertaining to now. And we're going to do a follow-up reading probably within like a couple of months, because I actually would not mind doing Niall Horan, you know, like love life and things like that. So he's definitely a person that I would love to pull on. So you guys stay tuned for that. And now we're going to wrap up this portion of the reading, and we're going to go to Harry. Stay tuned. All right, everyone. So now I have a photo of Louistomlinson, and below, you guys can't see all of the cards, but I did take some out. And these are the responses that I have. So again, pertaining to the group, like the idea of like the reunion itself, these are the cards that I got for Louis. Okay, so the first card that we have for Louis, we have safe space. A place where you can truly be yourself and feel at peace. So this is telling me what I feel, that Louis, during the time when he was in the group, again, I don't feel like that he was the one that had any like issues or anything to come about. It was just, it was just Zayn. Allegedly, it could be Harry also. But this is telling me that allegedly during the time when he was in the group, that he did feel like it was his safe space, where he was comfortable, where he was at peace, being surrounded like his band members. It was a good feeling. The next card that we have unexpected revelation. A shocking revelation will change your perspective. So it sounds like to me, because this card came out second, so it sounds like to me, even though Louis was feeling like this, and he may still feel like this pertains to the group, it's alleged that a shocking revelation will take place that will make him change the narrative. If not, that it has not happened right now. The next card I see here, we have unfinished business. It's not over, back and forth baggage. So on Louis' end, the idea of being in, like doing the group itself, it seems like there is a form of some unfinished business that needs to be done. The next card that we have partial truths, only sharing parts of the truth that benefits oneself. So it shows that Louis is holding back certain things. Allegedly, he's holding back certain truths pertaining regarding himself and the group itself, or within the other members. He's only sharing what he wants to share, but there are, other truths going on. I'm not going into detail with it. You guys, feel free to comment down below. The next section that we have, or the next card that we have, I am so sorry. The next card that we have pushing boundaries. Someone may be testing your limits. So there appears to be someone, and it could be like either within the group, it could be like just some kind of random person that would approach him or would approach them in general, like, hey, you should do this and that. And, you know, how far are you willing to push your boundaries? It's telling me also that he could have some boundaries up. That's why the partial truths card came out, that he has his boundary up for certain situations. Let's see the next card that we have, you guys. We have snake. There's snake, lie, poison, fraternity. So there appears to be like a snake energy that appears within around Louis, that he either feels like someone is a snake. He doesn't really quite trust anyone. The next card that we have talent. We have talent. Born with features, personality. So with the talent card, I feel like that this came out with Louis because it is symbolizing what I feel like he feels, that when it comes down to the other members, that they're very talented. They're talented in their own way. There's also a sense of personalities, like different personalities that he is attracted to. But he does look at his other members as being very talented. The next card that we have mystery, unknown, puzzle, illusion, confusion. So this whole situation, even like the idea of them like doing a reunion together, it is still unknown. He's not really sure about how the other members feel about it. Of course, we got to look at Zayn, how he feels about it. But with Niall and Harry, it just remains uncertain. He's uncertain about how they're going to go about doing it. The next question, the next card. The next card we have cool down, calm, pause, solidification. So he's going about it within the situation. Of course, we see it now as him, you know, as a cool down, you know, cooling down, how going about it in a cool down way, or going about it in a calm way about how to approach the other members. And you know, we already see that he did that with Zayn, or he could be currently doing that with Zayn right now as we speak. And the last two cards that we have here for Harry, the last cards we have for Louis, we have spreading positivity, keep radiating positive energy and influence, and we have public exposure. Private matters could be exposed. So let's start with this one. So this card right here, spreading positivity. This is what I feel like what Spirit could be saying to Louis, that just continue spreading positivity on your part pertaining to the group's legacy, the other members, definitely with Liam. You know, there's no animosity with him and Liam. It's so genuine, and it just tugs at my heart just thinking about it. Very genuine. So Spirit just telling him to just keep spreading that positivity and he will be good. And the last card that we have public exposure. Private matters could be exposed. So again, you guys, I'm not going into detail with it. I pulled on Louis. Okay, I pulled on Louis, and like I said, I'm not going to discuss it, but okay, I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay, so the next cards that I have here, these cards pertain to Zayn, sorry, it's sideways, Niall and Harry, and I am going to go over with you all with each card. Alright, so the first set, this pertains to Zayn. So the first card that we have encounter, met by chance, love at first sight, crush. Well, the second sentence, but an encounter. Let's look at the word encounter and met by chance. So it appears to me that the reason why this card that came out pertaining to Louis and Zayn, met by chance. So that's what rings a bell to me, like met by chance. So it's saying that Louis and Zayn met by the chance because of the unfortunate as to what had happened with Liam that made them meet. Made him and Zayn meet, and the other members to come together through this tragedy. So meeting with Zayn was by chance. These two cards are very interesting because the next one that follows after that, we have roll the dice, taking a chance, risk, leap of faith, and the card appeared to come out again. On this side. So we have the card again. We have gamble. So it appears that this this moment between Louis and Zayn was met by chance, and it's also consists of like rolling the dice, meaning that it appeared to Louis that him talking to Zayn again or trying to talk to him, it felt like it was a risk. It was a risk of doing it, considering the fact of what they've been through together. Let me move this a little bit. It's reflecting the light of what they went through together. So that is what these two cards are telling me. The next card that we have torment, anxiety, bondage, depression, trouble. So it looks like there was a certain period during this time frame. This was what I feel like how Louis was feeling after the falling out, that it could have been a sense of like allegedly like depression, feeling troubled about the whole situation. I see the word like torment, and torment, he could like felt bad that certain things had came out. Maybe it was like certain things that were said that shouldn't have been unsaid. And the next card that follows that pertaining to these two, we have rock bottom. So allegedly either there was a period that Louis could have felt like he was at rock bottom, or this energy could gravitate towards Zayn depending on how he was feeling like during that time. But I really feel like this is reflecting to Louis that there could have been like a certain part during this time frame where he felt like just like he's at rock bottom. He doesn't really know about what to do. What I remember on Louis' reading, if I'm not mistaken, he did have a GPS card that indicate like as if someone is being lost, they're not sure about where they want to go, and that could be like career wise, and also at the same time with his bandmates as well. The next two cards that we have a new outlook, and we have hopeful. So again, you guys, that's that positive energy that appears to be coming in that we saw in the first set of cards, that Louis is determined to spread positivity when it comes down to especially how he feels about Zayn. I do recall him recently doing an interview. I'm not sure if that's after he appeared at his show or it was before, but it appears that Louis had some very positive words to say about Zayn, and now we see that he remains hopeful and look at the situation in a new outlook. And the last that we have pertain to Louis and Zayn, we have feminine energy. Now, I'm not really sure as to why this card came out. There could be a feminine energy. Now, this could be like two ways. It could be someone who is feminine that is surrounding Louis, like during this time, because it's revealed that yes, he is dating, and this could be one of those cases where this particular girl, now it could be the girl he's dating, or it could be another female that's closest to him that could have told him that, hey, now it's time for you guys to hash it out, just put all the bad shit aside. That is one way. Or this could be a feminine energy coming from a spiritual level. Again, from what my understanding, Louis had lost his mother and his sister, and this could be like a spiritual thing. I did stress to you guys that Louis is another person who I feel has a intuition. And there be times where, we'll sleep and spirits would come in and, have a conversation with you. It could be your loved one. It could be someone that's closest to you, with all of this happening. And that could told him dream wise that, hey, you guys need to hash this out. Now, I take it that neither one of them, they were not talking to one another, especially during the passing of Louis' mother and sister. So that appears to me that makes sense to me. But those are the either options as to why I feel like this feminine energy had came out. Alrighty. So those are the cards pertaining to Zayn. So the next set of cards, I'm going to go over Niall's real quick. So with Niall's cards now, so how does Louis feel about now? So the first card that we have friends. The next card that we have wave of emotions. So again, that could come from the situation, and they could have talked, behind the scenes, let's say during the funeral in the church, and there's a lot of waves of emotions. It's all about, all these these memories are coming and flooding back. The next card we have, which is hilarious to me, I'm not really sure why, but we have Drama Queen. I don't recall now being a drama queen, but this card that came out, I'm gonna leave that up to you guys. We also have a sunset card, which indicates a lost loved one, memories, elder, nightfall. So this is another card, similarly, that came out in Zayn's reading about, keeping those memories in your back pocket, a lost loved one. Of course, that is an indication to what I feel, Liam. And he's another one too that likes to look back on, those precious moments that, again, that's in between them, something that is outside of the fan base, but he likes to, think of those memories from time to time. And he also has the rest card. This card came out before, which indicates a new beginning, pause. Think about it, prepare for a new journey, new beginning. So it's all good cards there. Now, all right, let's get to how he feels about Harry. So we have Harry's card. How does Louis feel about Harry regarding, the overall, nothing else, y'all, okay? Here we go. So the first card that we have, how Louis feels about Harry, we have feeling like shit. Allegedly, feeling like shit. The next card that we have, and this card seems like this is very familiar. I'm not sure if this came out before, because, I did a reading on Louis and Harry. You guys check it out. I'm not going to go into detail, but we have a love-hate relationship. So this simplifies how Louis and Harry at times would, would clash together, because there was some conflict. I will tell you guys, between Louis and Harry, there was some conflict about another topic, which I'm not going to discuss. go to the playlist. You'll see it there. But this sounds more accurate, allegedly. The third card that we have a Jezebel. So I'm not really sure as to how a Jezebel card come out. You know what a Jezebel is when that's that type of person that comes in and dwells inside of, like, you're in a relationship and in comes that Jezebel trying to seduce you. And all right, I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay, we have the next card, the intuition card, sixth sense, intuition, subconscious. So I do remember this card coming out to Harry. Harry is another member that is intuitive, as well as Louis. And I explained that him and Louis has like this special connection to where I feel that they understand one another, like a very unique connection. The next card that we have Miss You, Miss Wayacre. So deep down, allegedly Louis misses Harry. And allegedly, see, he wants for them to go out for drinks, to sit down and talk to one another. Okay. And the last card that we have taboo, limit, crime, forbidden love, curiosity. Okay. Again, you guys, I'm not going to go into detail with the whole thing between Louis and Harry. Please check out the parts 1 and 2 of the reading that I done on them, and then you'll find your answers there. I'm not having the comments being flooded with them. Alright, you guys, so I have my yes or no cards, and I'm going to experience this question pertaining to Louis. The spirit is Louis. Will Louis be fond to the idea of doing a One Direction reunion? Would he accept doing a One Direction reunion? So let's see what we're gonna get. Spirit is Lily Tomlinson. Will Lily Tomlinson accept doing a One Direction? Okay, guys, so it seems like 2 responses came out. We have, of course, and we have proceed. Let me zoom in a little closer. So we have, of course, and we have proceed. So keep in mind, you guys, it's a ledge. It is a ledge. So this energy could gravitate through him because he may feel that this would be something that he knows Liam and Spirit would be happy about if he decides, like, if something were to come up that would be like One Direction related. But it does show that allegedly Louis is open to it, that he's open to it. Okay, alright guys, so I just wanted to share his response, and from there we're going to proceed on with the next member. Alright everyone, so we are back. We are going to do the oracle reading on Harry Styles. So I had took out some cards, and again, you guys can't see the ones that I took out, but as I was pulling and the cards that I pulled out, well, there are some things, but I'm just gonna, explain it to you card by card, and you'll see for yourself. Also, yes, this was recorded another day because the other day I did the previous readings, but it just takes the whole day when you are pulling on more than at least 2 people. So we got Harry. So let's get started. That's not important, but we're going to get started. So I pulled out some cards. Again, these are cards that represent how Harry currently feels, and you know his energy is focusing on, what is surrounded by. But this is regarding to, like, if, again, you know, if a One Direction reunion were to come up, or you know, something like that. So this is the first card here that we have. So the first card for Harry, we have round and round, cycles, triggers, lessons. So this card is saying that throughout the time when Harry was in One Direction, there could have been, allegedly, there could have been some triggers that had been going on. There could have been cycles repeating the same thing. When I see the word cycle, it's basically saying that, say, for example, you've been through, you know, you're in this group and you've been through certain things. And the idea of being around the same people, or the idea of, you know, trying to be, you know, at one group itself, those cycles will return those triggers. See, triggers, like something in your head would be like, oh, I remember this happening. This was the worst moment in my life, and I just don't want to deal with it anymore. And following with Harry going through these experiences, following him going through that, he learned a lesson. And the lesson is that he basically doesn't want to be associated with it, at least not during this time. You guys will see during, at least with Zayn card, with Zayn, Louis, and Niall, that the Harry could, you know, it almost seems like it's a little iffy, but you're going to see that in a bit. You're going to see that. So we have round and round, cycles, triggers, and lessons. Okay, so these other two cards I want to show you, these are the next two cards. We have the Queen Bee card again. Secure, confident, boss bitch, career, focus. And the next card that we have living in the moment. So it doesn't take a rocket scientist. You guys understand what these two cards mean, right? It means that Harry is career focused only within himself. You know, he's secure, you know, he's confident. I'm not going to go into detail because I know I did a full reading on Harry. Again, that's on One Direction playlist. If you guys are curious, you haven't seen it. But yeah, right now, Harry is about being focused within his career, and right now just enjoying the moment, just enjoying himself and living in the moment and living, you know, like as a person. He doesn't want to go back to that. He also has a karmatic ties, like a karmatic ties card. So this card represents that Harry has overcome like some karma. This card that came out in a previous reading pertaining to him, I believe it came out with him and Zayn Malik. Okay, guys, so I wanted to get a little bit more clarification on the karmatic ties card. And basically, upon research, it says a karmatic relationship, which is a karmatic relationship. And it can be, you know, like a romantic relationship, a friendship. But I put it in a sense of course, a friendship. It says where two people connect from past lives to resolve unfinished issues. Knowing when to walk away can help. So there appears to be like a karmatic energy, like regarding Harry Styles and a group member or a specific group member. It's saying that the karmatic ties means that it came to a close. It came to an end. Like whoever member he was having that karmatic tie with has come to an end. That it was amended, and he has the ability now to walk away and to do his own thing. And the next card that we have for Harry now, this just seems like it's a constant habit when it comes down to him. You know, I told you, expressed to you guys, and of course, if you guys that have not known, the readings I done on Harry, he always will forever have intuition cards, like intuition, spiritual gifts. He's a person that is very, very intuitive, and this card highly qualifies or highly speaks for that. So we have that. And let me look over on these other cards here as well. So let's look at this one, the path of known, the path unknown. The path ahead in the relationship is uncertain yet hopeful. Okay, I feel like I'm looking at that one a little too early. Let me put this one on the side. We're going to hold these. I'm going to hold those for a second. Okay, but let me show you this. These are the two whammies here. All right, so the next cards we have the funeral card. We have empty room, no people, the end, opportunity. So again, you guys, it does not take a rocket scientist to tell you what this means coming from Harry's end regarding a One Direction reunion, regarding being associated with the members overall. Allegedly. All right, so we have those. So let's go over now to the cards that I pulled out for each individual. We're going to start with Zayn. Okay, we're going to start with Zayn. And let me put them in this order. I feel like it's so much easier of doing that. Okay, so the card decks that we have for Zayn. We have the first card. We have Shadow. The other side coexists, reverse side. So the Shadow card, upon looking at what I feel, the reason why this had came out regarding how Harry feels about Zayn is because it's either that allegedly he feels that he has two different sides about him, and it's one side that, you know, he could have butted heads with, but there is another part of Zayn that Harry is cool with, that he's more reasonable with. It almost represents like a person. Say a person, like stand for the fact you're standing in the wall, sunshine on you, you have a shadow, you have yourself, and then you have that shadow. So that represents like two people in one person. That's how it feels with me. But that is what I'm getting on how Harry feels about him. The next card that we have, now this one is rather odd. We have pet, dogs, cat, animal friends. Now, I don't want to be rude and disrespectful by thinking or saying that, Harry thinks of Zayn as a dog, or he thinks of him as a pet. Look, I don't know. You tell me. I don't know why a pet card appeared in the reading. This could also mean like something else. Maybe Harry would get a dog or a cat in the future. Maybe even name it Zayn. We don't know. I don't know why this card came out, but I had to share it. So we have Pat. The next card that we have Crown, Owner, Master, Top Level. So this is a really big change depending on the last reading that I done on Harry and Zayn. That now in this current energy and how Harry feels, he looks up to Zayn like as a king. I don't want to say that like as a king. It's almost like if he were to see him, he wouldn't mind giving him his props on his success. Because you see, we have a crown, and I was telling you guys that all of the members, yes, they were able to elevate and become successful artists in their own light. So I feel like with Harry, he wants to, if he were to have the opportunity to be able to engage with him, he wants to give Zayn props, regarding his success. And then the next card that we have Run Away, Get Away, Keep Away, Give Up. So I feel like it says shadow side again. So we have Harry feeling about Zayn this way, and then we have this other card, which is another way. So I feel like there's a reason why this card came out, and I want to, and then also we have move on too, like move on to indicate Harry wants to move on for Zayn. It seems like, again, y'all, that there was something, and I feel like I picked up a little bit on this pertaining to them too, about there is something that went on. See, we have two-faced boundaries, run away, keep away. So Harry is another member that, yes, he has his boundaries up, especially when it comes to Zayn, because it's alleged that Zayn could have been like two-faced against them. We have run away, walk away, keep away, give up. So there were times that, he was dealing with so much, he felt like that he was running away. And we have the boundaries and the two-faced step. Behind these two cards, we have silence, keep silent, coercion, hint. So there was something that pertained to, again, them both, that they had to be silent about. Like, either Harry felt like he was being silenced in a certain situation. Now I can show you guys this card here about the real story. The true story will come into light. So allegedly, some beans may be spilled sometime in the future. Silence, trying to keep secret about something. Whatever is hidden, or whatever the case may be, the truth appears that it may come out. Alright guys, so those are all for Zayn's cards. Now we are going to transition over to Louis. So let me get all his cards together. I'm just going to pick them up like so. Okay, so the next cards that we have, this is Harry pertaining to Louis. We have signs, risk, opportunity, safety. So when this card came out and what I was looking at, I feel like that this is another one of those cases where roll the dice, like taking a risk to talk to this person, taking a leave, being safe about it, being precautious about it. I feel this is one of the things that Harry is definitely feeling. This is one of the cases that Harry is feeling towards Louis because of, again, I ain't going into detail with it. Look at the video. So we have signs, risks, opportunities, safety. The next card that we have naive. So this could either mean that during a time when, Harry and Louis were like together in a groove and, conversation before the band broke up. Either he feels like he's being naive, or he felt like Louis at certain times was naive. Alright guys, so the next card that we have the divine timing card. Wrong time, right time, wait. So upon looking at this card, I feel when it comes down to Harry and Louis, I feel like that this is a message from Spirit saying that if Harry and Louis were to meet, it could be possible that, right now it could be, allegedly, it could be the wrong time for them to meet. Spirit is saying, that, he should wait on it. And then he would trust in his intuition to know that what would be the right time that him and Harry could meet with one another and talk and conversate. The next card that we have longing. See, longing. So, you know what longing means? Longing is like, I long to talk to you. I long to speak with you. So, Harry is ready. He's ready. But he has to wait again upon his intuition before, if he decides he wants to reach out, or vice versa. The next card that we have a new outlook. We have the new outlook. So this goes to show that Harry right now, he's looking at, this whole thing with One Direction, like everything that he's been through in his past all the way up to now. He's looking at it in a new outlook. That's why I tell you guys that he, rather just wants to be to himself and work on himself and his own career. The next card we have Drama Queen. So, there's alleged that Harry could think that Louis was at times a drama queen. And then the last card for Louis, we have Rock Bottom. So, with the Rock Bottom, I'm getting to feel like this comes from to how everything was before with them prior to them breaking up. There could have been a period at this time, at that time when, Harry was just feeling down and depressed and feeling like, he was at rock bottom because of the things that happened between him and Louis, allegedly. Alright guys, so these are the cards that now pertain to Harry and Niall, and we're going to go over them right now. So the first card that you guys see, we have Rest, Pause, a Journey, New Beginning. This card, it came out twice, and again, it's a representation, like going back to the New Outlook card. It's like a new beginning on how Harry would like to go forward, engaging with Niall. The next card that we have Change, Transformation, Newborn, Evolution. So there appears there's going to be like a sense of change that's between Harry and Niall. And the next card after that, you guys, we have Reconcile, Repair, Cure, Understanding, Succession. So it appears that it could have been like some things that either, Harry was feeling about Niall, or, Niall was feeling about Harry. But it shows that he wants to reconcile with them. He missed talking to him, and he would like for them to catch up on some things. Now, I want to show you guys this card. Let me go forward. We're going to see this one. We have Hot and Cold, On and Off, Detached, Ghosted. So, this, what I feel, that this was how it was like during the time when him and Niall were in the group. Closest to what I feel when the group was coming to an end, that there was a sense of detachments, like on and off. There were good days, there were bad days. There were times when people, where each one of the members of the group were feeling detached towards one another. We also have these two cards, you guys. This is the first one. We have the cold shoulder. Someone is deliberately distancing themselves, hiding dissatisfaction. So this is another card pertaining to Harry's energy regarding the group. And there was a sense where you see that cold shoulder, like being ghosted. They weren't really talking to one another like that. prior to when the group ended. So yeah, hot and cold attached. There also appears to be like a toxic lifestyle. This goes back to what I was pulling on with Zayn about how he felt like being in the group was like a toxic environment. It was a toxic lifestyle. Another thing that we could also say pertaining to this, if this pertains to Harry and the group members itself, I wouldn't be surprised if I were to, use this card deck pertaining to all of them, and this card came out, and we heard this, coming from Liam, that the boys were, that the members were exposed to things, very fastly. One of the things is pertaining to alcohol. You see this girl and, she has a drink in her hand, and you have another person that's feeding her alcohol. That is what, that was definitely one of the other things. And as well as, them being engaged with older women, but that's another topic, and I'm not going to go there with that. But yeah, it's alleged that, there was a sense of toxicity between Harry and Niall, like during the time when they were together. The next card that we have rejected. So yeah, that goes back, you guys, with the cold shoulder, that either something had happened, allegedly something had happened between Niall and Harry and Niall. There was a sense of falling out, allegedly. And because of that, allegedly Harry feels messed up about it. This could be something that every time, like going back to that cycles card, the cycles card that I pulled out the first time about cycles triggers, lessons. This could be like one of those periods when, if Harry were to think of now, that moment when allegedly they had like a falling out comes back to haunt him, and he feels he feels wrong of doing that. I feel like he feels wrong. That's why I feel like that the naive card that came out, that there were certain things that he had took on during the time when he was in the group, and he did it in a naive way. And now he wants to, wants to reconcile, and he wants to make things better. We have an under pressure card. So we have anxiety, decisions, time is running out. So it could feel like he could feel like a sense of being under pressure on trying to confront, to talk to Niall. I'm getting a feeling like with all these, with each one of the members, the remaining 4 members of the group, is that, again, you guys, there's a lot of boundaries. There is a lot of, being afraid to talk. There is a certain part when, if they feel like, hey, if one of the members were to call the other, then they'll be willing to talk. And then there's a little where, they just don't want to be bothered with one another. But I'm just getting a sense with this whole thing that it sounds like to me that the members are willing to talk to each other, but they're going to go about it. They're going to have a shield up. They're going to keep certain boundaries. They're just going to push a little over time. And this last card will express that. So this is the last card of the reading. We have temporarily distant. The distance in the relationship is temporarily, and things may reconnect later. So right now, it appears like throughout everything that has happened, with the death of Liam, and how, they were brought together about that. When it comes down to each of them, trying to make amends with each other, it's going to take some time. They're going to be distant for now. They're going to take it very slowly. They're going to be very precautious about it. Somewhere in the future, I do feel that they may get together. They may talk about it. But it has to be on their time. We can't just be like fans and be like, oh, we want them all to be together. It seems like that there is a lot of rifts between this group. A lot of things when, there was one period where they were all working well. And then, one, got up and then one had left and one was elevating the way they did. And, one had it rough, one had it easy, whatever the case may be. But all will be revealed, what I feel, all will be revealed in the future pertaining to them. But right now, they want to stay, distant with one another. And I should have left that at the last part with me saying this, because there's one more thing that, I want to do before we close this reading out. So let me grab my yes or no cards here. So we're going to ask on Harry's side. Now, I know we saw like the funeral cards pertaining to Harry is not interested. And, there's no way of, it said plain as day, but I like to re-ask. That's the Virgo in me. So let me bring this up closer. So I'm going to ask Spirit one last time. Let's ask Spirit, pertaining to Harry Styles, will he be willing to do a One Direction reunion with the other guys? Harry Styles be willing to do a One Direction reunion. Okay, guys, I do see a card coming out, and we have Think Again. So, think again. All right, guys, so that's closest to what I'm saying. So, long story short, it appears that Harry is not interested in a reunion. Like, again, when it comes down to like the group itself, he doesn't want to have any association with it. He wants to give the members props, except for Louis. That's another different level. But yeah, he's not interested, you guys. So think again. So alright, so that's Harry's response. Alright, you guys, so that concludes this portion of the Oracle reading pertaining to Harry Styles. How does he feel about One Direction? And without further ado, I am going to wrap this up. Alright, everyone, so we are at the conclusion of the readings pertaining to Harry Styles, Louistomlinson, Zayn Malik, and Niall Horan. As always, you guys know what to do. If you guys wish to leave a comment pertaining to this reading, please feel free to comment down below. Let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions. Have you heard anything similar from other readers? What is your take on it? How do you feel? The only thing I ask you guys is to please be respectful. Let's not let it be one of those cases where you guys are commenting and you're like debating, because I do keep a track of my comments and I don't want to end up blocking no one like I had to do in the last video, because it just sounded like it was kind of like a butting head energy. Again, my channel is all about positivity, so you're more than welcome to share your comments and share your opinions. Again, be respectful. As far as requests, at this time I'm still taking celebrity requests, and I understand that, like I was explaining in the beginning of this video, that it's a little risque with me recording. So At this time, I can only do what I can, but however, I am taking requests. So if you have a celebrity request that you would like for me to do, please feel free to comment down below. I will give you a little heart sticker to let you know, like, hey, I got your request, and I will add them to my journal. The only thing that I would ask you guys is to please be patient. That's the only thing that I want is your patience, because to tell you the honest truth, I do have like requests that are from months prior that I'm really trying to get around to and get myself to have the energy and getting the feel of that particular celebrity that I want to pull on to give you guys the clearest response that I can. So if you don't have the patience, I'm just going to tell you that don't bother to comment. Again, I don't feel no ways. The decision is up to you. Also, when I do your request, I would love to keep in contact with you to let you know, like, hey, your request has been done and has been completed. Please do not do the disappearing act. That is what caused other people's requests that have been waiting, let's say, for 5 months for their request, and I put yours in front of them only for me not to be able to contact you to let you know, like, hey, your request has been completed. Okay, I would prefer, or I would like for you guys, if you guys really enjoyed the video, give it a like. Also, if you guys have been, you know, rocking with me, you have been looking at my content, or you love me from day one, I would love for you guys to subscribe and hit that notification button. That way you won't miss a video for yours truly. As far as One Direction goes, again, I would love to do a individual pull on Zayn Malik and Niall Horan, and as promised, you guys, I have not forgot about the video I promised pertaining to the group itself, One Direction and Simon Cowell. I did create a post. I did see your guys' likes, and you gave me enough likes to say, okay, you're interested in this reading. So well, what I tell you, please stay tuned. More content will be coming your way. Follow me on my social media, Instagram and TikTok. The names of it will be linked down below. Sorry about that, about my phone. I would love for you to follow me on either one of those sites, mainly with both of them, because, you know, we don't know what's going on with TikTok, but I'm mainly on TikTok where I post, you know, sneak peeks. You get to know a little bit more about myself, and, you know, with me as a K-pop fan, you'll see a lot of K-pop memes and things like that and whatnot. So if you're interested, feel free to follow me over there on the social media as well. My series, Love Neon, I know I've been behind on those episodes too. Right now we are on season 2, so if you have a request that you will love for me to do an episode on, FYI, those episodes will come very quickly, because I am trying to get this season done. Like, believe you guys, season 2 was supposed to be done like during this time. I should be at the end of season 2, and I swear, like, after this season, I'm just going to give myself a month to relax before we move on to season 3 of the series. But if you guys are interested in that, the playlist for season 1 and season 2 are on my channel, and those episodes debut every Friday, either between 12 a.m. and now at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, it just depends. But if you guys are following me, I would make a post to keep you updated. And I think that is all that I wanted to say. Again, you guys, thank you for your continuous love, your support. Thank you for watching my content. Welcome to my new followers who have been following me, or who had decided to follow me during the time that this video was recorded. Thank you. Welcome to the fam. I hope you stick around, and yeah, we'll all be good. Okay, love it. All right, so again, thank you guys for watching. I gotta go. I'm gonna go wrap this up, and as always, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.